ready for rule.
Set.
No false starts. So let's just hit it right at the right time. Donovan Bailey Running Things. Jason Portuondo alongside the man who needs no introduction, but I will give him one. Good morning, Mr. Bailey.
Good morning, Mr. Portuondo. How are you, man?
Can't complain. Feeling the remnants out there of Hurricane Burrow. But all in all, things are good. Hey, happy Independence to all of our Bahamian viewers, listeners, family, and friends as they celebrate their independence today.
Look at this. See, I didn't even know that.
There you go.
And yes, happy Independence. Well, you always gotta celebrate our good friends and neighbors in the Caribbean.
That's right. And for the most part, it seems like things are, I don't want to say okay, because never okay after you get hit by a hurricane. Could have been worse, but there is lots of damage in certain areas. So if you can help out, obviously do that, right?
Yeah, you know what? My family's safe in Jamaica. Like I said last week, certainly there's some minor damage we have. We're taking care of that right now on the properties. But yeah, you know what? If you have life, man, then all is well. I mean, because ultimately, you die once and you live every day. So we got to make sure that we help out those less fortunate people who have lost a lot of things throughout the Caribbean.
That's a great point. You think about this. We charge our phones every night, right? And our phones die every night. Right. We just get to die once. So, you know what? Recharge yourselves spiritually, physically, mentally. That's important stuff.
Yeah, you're telling people to get up and do something?
There you go.
JC's saying that what's your excuse, man? Get up and do something today.
That's right. I always start my day spiritually, and then we go from there. So
it's always good.
We got a lot to cover on this edition of Donovan Bailey Running Things. We're going to talk some guys sprinting, some women sprinting. We'll talk a potential U.S. sweep. Yes, I said that. We'll get somebody's opinion on that. We'll talk anchor leg, and we will continue the countdown until Paris 2024. You good to go?
I'm all good to go, man.
We always are good to go.
It's all good. We're ready. If I'm in the studio, I'm good to go.
I was looking forward to this week because we all know what Kishane Thompson did at the Jamaican Trails
last week
and just blew up the 100-meter scene. But people said, have bags will travel. How will he fare outside of the friendly confines of Jamaica? Well, we found out this week, and it just happens to be our feature event. Kishane, the floor is yours.
And there goes Kishane Thompson. Kishane Thompson showing all his form here. Cantabocco with him. Shane Thompson looks right, looks left, shuts it down. 9:91. He is the real deal. Kishane Thompson, that is a big test for him coming up here against the likes of Akani Sambini and Letsilo Tabocco, and he's passed.
She's right. I'm glad she said, though, because, some people wondered, okay, that was in Jamaica, but what is it going to be like outside of Jamaica? Like you talked about Omanyala at altitude, right? It's a little bit different when you have to do it somewhere else, but Kishane is proving, you know what? He's good regardless of where it is. That race was in Hungary. He wins, breezes in 9:91.
You know what? I was actually surprised at maybe the shock in her voice. I just thought it was hilarious when Kishane ran that so easy. I mean, we talked about Jason last week about, or I talked about, what it's like to compete in Jamaica, what it's like to compete on. I mean, Jamaica is probably the most educated track and field audience in the world. I mean, I'm going to say that because, it is part of our fabric. It is part of our culture. But I talked about, the preparation that Kishane is in, which simply means that even if you don't see him or a lot of his other training partners not competing, I mean, because it seemed like Frano, Stephen Francis, and Glenn has got these Mills has got these athletes in a really nice business model, we'll say, right? These athletes are training, and they're 100% prepared at all times to be in competition shape, right? So yeah, did not surprise me. The ease in which this man is running 9.9 though should be scary for a lot of those people that are out there who are vying for the number one athlete, fastest man in the world title this year in Paris. And yeah, he showed up, man. He showed up and he showed what he's made of. And he obviously showed that, you know what, packing the bags, getting on a plane, jet lag didn't affect him, jogged the 9.9, looked around, you know. So I think that, you know, we have someone definitely who's a favorite this year going into Paris. That's a lot of pressure. But again, the structure where he's coming from, competing in Jamaica in front of Jamaicans, they going to Europe and running in a diamond league, you know, or an area permit meet is no big thing, because the pressure of competing at home is far better than anywhere else in the world. But I tell you, Kishane showed up and looked good, man. And I gotta say, as I was watching the race, Sambini has been very consistent, guys, and I like Sambini from South Africa. He's someone, you know, he obviously in the twilight of his career, but running very consistently. And I also got to say, I mean, I've talked about this guy for a couple of years. Letsile Tobago didn't look like he was giving it a whole lot of effort. So I'm saying to you that when you watch the race, Kishane certainly separated himself from the pack and looked around and kind of was looking around and waving to the crowd, essentially. But Tobago actually ran a pretty easy race. I mean, the weather looked chilly, looked a little wet. But at the end of the day, I'm so happy that those three men that competed are healthy, and so you know, the impressive 100 meters that I expect in Paris continues.
Impressive. One of many superlatives you could use to describe what Kishane Thompson did. By the way, thanks to our friends at Biopods for sponsoring our race of the week. Visit biopods.com. Empower your every step. Kishane did exactly that. What was more impressive for you, that win or the trials? I know the trials was faster, but I think he had more question marks going into this race just because people wanted to see it again and wanted to see it outside of Jamaica. We saw it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I mean, you always say that I hop on the fence sometimes, and this is going to be another one of those things. I don't know if people expected him to be that prepared at the trials.
Okay.
Because people, he is not, like, his coach has not have him prepared to run fast yet. He's doing speed work, but also he's training through trials and certainly training through what he just ran, right? So I'm saying, so to your question, Jason, what's impressed me? His consistency.
Yeah. Which one impressed you more, Jamaica or Hungary?
No, but I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
What has impressed me is his consistency over the past 4 weeks. Obviously, he's training through this and learning how to go through rounds, learning how to shut things down. You know, so in Jamaica, tons of pressure, trials, you have to make it. So you have to make it no matter what. I mean, clearly he's the fastest Jamaican. You know, Oblique Seville and I think the kid's name's Level. He's also no slouch, guy that came third in the Jamaica trials. But what has impressed me is obviously the consistency of him competing in Jamaica, leaving Jamaica, getting on a plane, traveling. Again, you have jet lag, you could do there's all kinds of things that could happen. You know, you're traveling, you know, 6-hour time zone from your home base of training. Mm-hmm. Goes in, executes out of the blocks, beside two people that could possibly be medalists, right? Akani Sambini and Leslie Tobago could be medalists. I'm just saying to you that we'll get into that later on, but these could be medalists. And what we had was Kishane went there and separated himself, and so that to me is more impressive than Jamaica.
All right.
Yeah.
991, no matter how you slice it. I mean, the man even had his jacket. Mganzes down.
Went for a while, man.
I mean, you know, most people are like aerodynamics. Let me get this as tight as possible. But, you know, watching him run that race reminded me of a certain runner back in, I think it was 97, who was coming back from injury, had lane 1 in his semifinal heat.
Right.
Didn't win the race, but was just kind of, you know,
chilling,
looking over at his rivals to his right and saying, is that all you guys got? Because you know what? I'm back.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Remember who that runner is?
I don't know who that is. Okay. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
But it was quite the race.
Yes, but I gotta tell you this. And I think that everyone should watch this. I mean, the comfort in which, I think people think of confidence when you look at Kishane, but I like the level of comfort. Like, he's fully aware of who he is. He's living in the moment. And like you're saying, Jason, I mean, he showed up and his bodysuit didn't even zip it up, man. So it was kind of like, I'm going to go for a jog. This is part of my workout today. I happen to be getting paid for it. I'm in Europe and there's a bunch of people watching me. And I also happen to be running against, two of the best sprinters in the world right now. So let me go do my job and let me go hold up food.
If that's me, I'm zipping my bodysuit up from my toe to my eyeballs. All you're going to see are my eyes. I need all the help I can get.
And still run 9 minutes.
Yes. 9 minutes, .2. Close enough. Close enough. That was one of the many highlights at the Gula Istvan Memorial in Hungary, as talked about. By the way, Tobogo went sub 10 for the first time this year, so he's just kind of rounding into form. The two. So let's talk about the half lap, because we have some Canadian content there in Andre De Grasse, the reigning champ when it comes to that discipline, if you will. 1998, your thoughts on his performance?
Andre's been silently consistent. I mean, he's either been winning or he's finishing in the top 3 over the past few competitions, so I like where he's at. It also, it was his first time under 20 this year. On the outside lane, ran the corner hard, came off the turn, relaxed going home. Didn't look like he exerted a whole lot of energy, so I do like where he's at going into his next competition and then on to training camp and then to the Olympics. I do like where Andre's at. 1998, he's going to have to run a hell of a lot faster than that.
Yes.
But this is where we are. We are a month out. Right. So you're not expecting, there's nobody, including Andre, that I expect to be breaking records, because he certainly is going to have to break his Canadian record, to get on the podium. But yes, I have all the confidence in the world that he will be back, in contention in the 200 meters in Paris.
Andrew Hudson, Jamaica was second. Kendall Williams was third from the United States.
Yeah, legit. Andre beat there's some legit guys, man, for sure.
Yeah. Ronnie Baker also in there. Jerome Blake also part of that lineup. Now, we should mention as well, De Grasse just days earlier competing at the FBK in the Netherlands.
Right.
And didn't win in the 100. Was a pretty decent third in behind Ferdinand Omanyala, who won in 10.01. Ronnie Baker was second in 10.03, then De Grasse third, 10.07.
Yeah, again, like I'm talking about the consistency. Andre, he's been very consistent, man. Top 3. It's clear that he's comfortable back with his old coach and own training stomping ground. And he's doing well on the circuit. At the FBK games in the Netherlands, again, very good. What I was, and you and I talked about this, Jason. What I was concerned with was Ferdinand Omanyala, as you say.
Yes.
How he does in Kenya or in Africa, and then what he does on the circuit. That guy ran a stellar race, man. Ferdinand, impressive. Got out. Controlled the race, maintained the race, running 10:01 at this time going into Paris. Usually, again, I've said this over and over again. He's usually real fast out the gate, running, 9.8s and 9.7s, and when the major championships come around, he falters. So I like where he's at, and like I said earlier, I am looking at observing the impressive 100-meter field that is heading towards Paris. And to the big showdown of who will be the man or woman.
Who will be the woman? And that's where we're going to go next.
Right.
And we're going to go back to Hungary. We're sticking at the half lap distance, and not to overshadow the win, but I am going to overshadow the win by Julian Alfred for a moment here, because Shericka Jackson had the win 50 meters from the wire, and all of a sudden we're like, she pulls up. But the latest word that we have, according to her physio team, her whole camp. Right. It was a cramp in her hamstring. So if that is what it turns out to be, you never want to, discount any injury or take it too lightly because it could lead to something else. But at least it doesn't seem like it's going to be anything detrimental as of right now.
Dude, that scared the living hell out of me. Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, man. I want to see, I mean, as a fan, yes, I'm a retired champion, but as a fan, I want to see the best versus the best. And I want to see a healthy Shericka in Paris. And yes, that scared me. And I know what it's like to have a torn quad, torn hamstring, two ruptured Achilles, all kinds of other injuries.
Abductor?
Right? Yeah, abductor a few times. Yes. To name a few. Mm-hmm. And yes, that was really, really tough. And to even see. And so, my sources in Jamaica are saying that it's not as bad. But I want to make sure, I hope that they have, hope they get an ultrasound MRI to make sure that there's absolutely no tear there. There's still some time to get ready. And I know that all of this, she's also training in preparation for Paris because she's also getting into speed work now. This is what this is about right now. This is about speed work through training in preparation to maximize, what your body is capable of doing in Paris. And so, yeah, that was tough for me to see. Again, you have an athlete who was training in Jamaica, get on a plane, could be dehydration, cramps of any kind. So listen, this is for Shericka, man. I hope that all is well. Hope your team's got all the answers. And you're back at it today, training and getting ready, whatever, acupuncture, massage, whatever is needed. Get it done and get ready. But yeah, Jason, we did kind of overshadow the race. Julian Alfred, again, Julian Alfred's someone who's vying for a title. She's not going to Paris the structure in which she trains at University of Texas. She's not going to be a participant. She's not going to the Olympic Games to be a participant in the 100 meters, to be a participant in the 200 meters, or what we'd call an Olympian. No, she wants some hardware. And yes, you can't really take anything away from Julian Alfred, who ran a great race, and she will absolutely be someone to look for, as one of the ladies that are vying for the title of the top prize in the women's 100 and the 200.
22:16 for Alfred. That's a season's best for her. Nita was second, 22.
Yeah, I forgot about Daryl. Daryl's running well too.
Yeah, and Thomas out of Jamaica was third. So yeah, you're right. You know what? Again, don't want to overshadow her victory, but Shericka was in front, 30, 40, 50 meters, whatever it was from the finish. It looked like she was going to win. Right. We'll never know. Right. But
not worried about it though. I'm not worried. Like at this point, times are not significant to me personally, and I'm just telling you about either my career or my observation as a fan. Times don't matter to me right now. Place don't matter to me. What matters today is training through your preparation and finishing the race healthy. That's all I care about.
Yep, you're right. 100%. You are right. Speaking of 100, Tamari Davis winning at that distance over the Jamaican Tia Clayton. And Crystal Slowly, also from Jamaica, was third. In fact, Jamaicans were 2, 3, and 4 in that 100-meter event. Gula Istvan, as talked about.
These ladies the young ladies that you just mentioned, they are the future of sprinting.
Yeah, and you know what? The beauty of this is we got more Diamond League action right around the corner.
Right.
Monaco coming up this weekend.
Yes.
We're going to see potentially in that 100 final Julian Alfred, Dina Ashton Smith, Tamara Clark, Tamari Davis, Aliyah Hobbs, Zoe Hobbs, Talou's in there.
Yes.
Patricia van der Weeken, the Dutch Luxembourg lady who just won at the FPK.
Yep.
So it's a solid lineup potentially.
Monaco is one of my favorite places to run. I've won there a few times. and it's a great track, great atmosphere. What's in the men's? The men's are probably going to be just as hot because usually Monaco is a place where the very best line up. 2, 3, 4, 5 of the the best people always line up.
Yeah, we
Who's
got
in it?
Tobago as the headliner.
Nice.
It's the Deuce there. Andrew
Okay, that's
Hudson's
okay.
also in there.
Yeah, that'll work.
So, yeah.
That'll work.
No such thing as a bad race.
Never. Well, I mean, not when you have these people. And again, racing through, training through races. So they're all preparing for Paris, but this is all part of it. So for me, number one, as I said earlier, I just wish them all, execution and great health.
That is the key. I'm like you. All I want to do is see the best have a chance to be the best. I'm not saying they're going to be 100%. I don't know what your feeling is on this, but
you won't see 100%.
Is anybody ever 100%?
You'll at the Olympics, at the Olympic finals, you will. I mean, you will not see 100% now. I mean, again, I think that the phenomena that's known as Usain Bolt. People got used to guys running 9.7, at a regular competition. What's happening now is you see people that are doing things and getting ready right now and not worried about time.
Right, which is what it should be. Right. I mean, that's just the way it is. So we had a lot go on elsewhere. I need to shout out Jasmine Camacho Quinn, the Puerto Rican, winning the 100-meter hurdles for the ladies, obviously, 12.47. And just won at the FBK games as well. So she's going back-to-back. Stephen Gardner, another reigning Olympic champion, capturing the men's 400. Bahamian clocking 44.50. That was an easy win. Trey Cunningham. There's a lot going on. I mean,
yes.
We should mention a 37-year-old breaking the world record, the high jump.
A 37-year-old record.
Yes, that too. Yeah, could you imagine that? Well, that could be possible. But yes,
it is very
let's clear that up. Yes, a 37-year-old record was broken.
It's very possible.
How old was she?
She's probably in her 20s. But no, a 37-year-old.
That would make it more impressive.
You know what? I think, Jason, we should have let off. I mean, we should have let off the show like that. You know why? Because that is, a 37-year-old record.
Right.
Is it 2 meters 10? 2 meters 10.
I think you're right.
Ukrainian lady.
Don't ask me to pronounce her name.
Please pronounce her name.
Okay. Yaroslava Mahuchikh. Mahuchikh?
I'm going to go with Mahuchikh. Well, I mean,
it is 210.
I am part Ukrainian
you.
sometimes.
Oh, are you?
No.
I'll take Yaroslava. You take Mahuchikh.
Right. No, but, listen, congratulations. Anytime you break a world record, you've stamped yourself and you've stamped your career.
Yep.
As now legendary. So congratulations. I think that's fantastic. Looking forward to her seeing how high she can go in Paris.
The Bulgarian record set by Stefka back in the day was in Rome, Italy in 1987.
Yes.
So
2 years ago.
All records are made to be broken. Yes or no? Should we start seriously thinking about Bolt's 5'8" going down in Paris?
9.58. I would say no.
Okay. I'm glad you said no.
I don't.
Okay.
No. I would say absolutely no. But however, you know what? Again, like you said, all records are made to be broken, and the track is hellified fast. The technology of the shoe and the track, all that stuff is amazing. This crop of athletes are very, very talented. Kishane Thompson leading this pool of incredible talented people, but I don't see 5'8" going anywhere. I actually don't even see 19.1 going anywhere, but you know what, I'll watch it. We'll see. I'll be watching. You'll all be watching me on CBC.
Yeah, we will be. Yeah, 100% we'll be watching and critiquing. So yeah, make sure you bring it. That's all I got to say.
I'm gonna try, man. I'm going to try because I don't know how to bring it.
Waiting for you to say it. It's already been brought.
Yeah. Brought. That's your lingua.
Exactly.
That is your lingua.
So we've had a fabulous reception of people watching this podcast, up to like 30,000 views on YouTube, which is great. Keep it coming. We really appreciate that support. Continue to share, download, like, subscribe, follow, do all those things. We got a question of the week. Somebody wants to know, will we see an American sweep in the 100, 200 for the men?
Tough call.
Judging by the laugh, I guess not.
No, it's not a laugh.
So, Steve, we appreciate that question, but judging by the laugh, the answer is no.
No.
Okay, give it to me.
It's not. It's not a laugh. America has the talent to absolutely sweep the 1 and the 2.
We're talking men, right?
The men's.
Okay.
The men's. Yes. They have the talent to sweep the 100 meters and the 200 meters. However, I will say that Africa is not a country. It's a continent. But there are 3 Africans that are really good that maybe Africa as a continent for the first time in history could sweep the 100 meters, right? They won't sweep the 200 meters. Tobago is the only one I think that will be a factor in the 200 meters. But in the 100 meters, they could. Jamaica has enough talent right now. We have the fastest man in the world today, the second fastest man in the world today from Jamaica, and we got Level, the young guy, the one that has been suffering injuries over the years, ready right now to kind of put his stake. So we have 3 Jamaicans that have the capabilities. Now so what I just did was I pulled out 9 men that from separate places that have the capabilities of sweeping from their own region. Now we have Marcel Jacobs, the reigning Olympic champion. He's going to have something to say about that. Zarnell Hughes is going to have something to say about that. Who am I missing? Who I want to mention, actually.
Okay.
My good friend Carl Lewis.
He's not running.
What's wrong with you, dude?
Oh, well,
my good friend Carl Lewis coaches a guy named Louis Hinchcliffe from the UK.
UK, yep.
That kid is ready to go. I'm saying to you, there's going to be some new names. Now, I just mentioned some names, and I might be missing some. I don't have a paper in front of me. But I'm saying to you that.
Did you mention Lyles?
Well, Lyles, of course I mentioned Lyles. Lyles American. So, I mean, I said, you asked me about American sweep. I'm saying to you that, De Grasse will have something to say about that because Andre's been very consistent. And ultimately for him, he just have to put himself in a position in the finals, and we know he's going to relax. We know he's going to execute properly, and we know that he's going to have to be caught in order for him to, be shoved back out of medal contention. So I'm saying to you that America could sweep. It's possible. The 100, they could sweep the 200. The continent of Africa could sweep the 100. Jamaica could sweep the 100. So when I look at the 200, then we know that the Americans, they probably have the most speed, the most consistent speed, and if there's anything there's a possibility of sweeping,
right,
it would be the 200, and that's just me.
Well, that's deep. You got Bednarik, you got Knight, and you got Lyles. I get it.
But it
ain't happening. But
yes, exactly.
Not happening.
Exactly. I'm just saying to you that De Grasse is going to throw his hat in the ring. There's no way I can see them running the deuce, and Tobago is not on the podium in the 200, and Tobago again is running both. So I mean, dude, to answer, I guess I have my answer is a no answer. Because
there's a surprise.
Oh please, I'm just saying to you that the possibilities, the possibility of them doing it, absolutely, is quite high. Are these other athletes that are vying for the crown gonna allow it? And I hope to God they don't, because that's what the games and that's what these races and that's what professional sports all about. Everybody has got to go in with their own level of confidence. Everyone has to go in obviously with their own goals in mind, and hopefully we get to see the greatest human specimen lined up. Last 8 people on the track. And when the gun goes, we'll see what happens. No world record, though.
You must have been a hell of a dodgeball player back in the day.
Never played dodgeball in my life.
Really?
No.
The way you dodged some questions that I asked you on this show, man. Wow. You serious? You are phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Hey.
By the time you're done, I don't even know if you even answered the question.
I am looking from a champion's perspective. And what I want to see
I can't do that. So go ahead.
Well, I am. I'm looking from a perspective where I want, as I said earlier about, some of the athletes we spoke about who I want to make sure that they have optimum health, right?
Yes.
What I want to see from my perspective, through my lens, I want to see the greatest competitions with the greatest athletes of today lining up when they're at their greatest potential.
All right. There's your question, Steve, answered by the living legend. Keep your questions coming. We will select one and have it on the show, and you can get that question answered. So appreciate that. Time now to wrap things up the way we always do, running that anchor leg, brought to you by the Great Canadian Sauce Company.
A clean exchange with Donovan Bailey is pouring it up.
All right, let's revisit the footy. Now, you said, your heart was telling you Canada, but your head was saying Argentina. So you're right, of course. What was your pick for today's Euro Championship, other semi? It's the Dutch and England. Did you go?
I think I picked the Dutch, yeah.
The Dutch?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then we also have on the way Copa, Uruguay and Colombia. You went?
I went Colombia because I said I like Colombia.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we got that figured out. So here we go now. You are on a deserted island.
Oh, jeez. What the hell, dude?
You have landed in the Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
You have one food of choice. What is it that you were going to eat? You can only eat one thing. Me, easy. Jerk chicken, oxtail gravy.
Yeah, but that's not one food, though.
What, it isn't? Jerk chicken.
That's not one food. So you're going to have chicken?
If you can only have one food, what are you eating? These are fan requests. These are
okay. If I was like, okay,
one food. You're on
food.
an island. Can be any island of your choice.
Okay, so I'm going to be exercising, doing some push-ups, sit-ups, and I'm going to.
What does that have to do with food?
No, just ease yourself, man.
Okay, all right.
Right. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go oxtail.
All right.
I'm going to go oxtail because I'll be able to run it off on the island, and plus I'll be eating some coconut and some whatever else grows on the island. I'm assuming there will be fruit trees there.
I'm hoping.
Okay.
For your sake.
All right.
Another fan wants to know, you can only have one. Do we still have CDs? That's what they said, so I'm going to use the word the CD. You can only have one CD playing in your car while you're driving. Who is that artist?
Like forever?
For one day. Pick one.
Exodus.
Who the Exodus?
Yeah.
Not no Bob Marley, not no Beanie Man, nor Buju.
I cannot believe,
Exodus?
Yes, Jamaican people. I said Exodus, and Jason's asking me about who is it?
No, because I thought you were saying Exodus.
You asked me about what the CD. The CD is called Exodus.
No, so you go to Bob then.
Well, of course
I wanted the artist. That's what I said to you. I wanted the artist. That's why you threw me off.
Oh, okay.
I said artist, and then you gave me the album. Exodus. Okay, you go Bob Marley. Now go Buju.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just saying, listening to it over and over again because I know it's like an anthem. All the songs, I know them.
Okay.
And it's significant to things that I look forward to doing in life.
Okay. Well, we like to engage our listeners. We do have a Raptors fan out there that wants to know, now that the Raptors have signed quickly, they got Scotty Barnes long term, will they make the playoffs?
I have full trust in my good friend Masai Ujiri. And they will be, and I think last year was a rebuilding year, and I think they'll make the playoffs this year.
All right. Faith Kipyegon, by the way, needed to shout her out as well because she was part of those world records. No, nice. She wasn't the 37-year-old high jumper. Right.
Well, there's no 37-year-old high jumper.
I'm sure there is somewhere.
Yeah, but Jason's not offending you. He's joking.
Yes.
But Faith is, congratulations again, man. Again.
Kenyan. She
phenomenal.
1,500 meters. And
phenomenal.
You know what? I will say this. The Africans, for years and years and years known as, a long distance,
right,
if you will, nation. But they're getting into the sprints, right?
Well, that's why I love, just imagine, awesome. Just imagine how many tens of millions of people that you can pick from. You've got, and so the three kids, man, you got, Omanyala, Sambini, and Leslie Tobogo. You've got like so many young sprinters who thought that, oh my God, I'm going to have to run the marathon or the 1500 and above, and they've got these they're following the steps of these incredible young African sprinters. So there's going to be, the Africans are going to make some noise in the next. Well, they're going to make some noise today. They're going to make some noise in Paris, and if they make some noise in Paris, or when they make some noise in Paris, then we know there's going to be an outpouring of talent in the next little while. It's kind of like Jamaica. We started it way back, and now you can't get us out of there, man. We're in it. We're in it to win it.
3 weeks today, the fun begins in Paris. I cannot wait. Thank you as always for the company. I'm Jason Portuondo. He is Donovan Bailey, and we are out like this.
Thanks for having us. Subscribe and do all the subscribe, like, and do all the things that Jason just told you to do. Until next week, peace out.